Welcome back to Outdoors Radio with Dan Small.
Welcome back to Outdoors Radio. I'm Dan Small, and we've been talking a lot about Lake Michigan this summer. In fact, we had Dumper Dan on again this week, but we haven't yet looked at Green Bay or Lake Winnebago. And to help us understand what's going on there, at least as far as walleyes are concerned, we're joined now by Walleye Tournament Pro, HT and Vexan Pro staffer, and tackle designer Paul Coot Williams. He's got a website, too, and you can learn all about what he's up to at CootsLures.com. And Coot, just like the bird, the waterfowl called a mud hen. So, Coot, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, great to be with you, Dan.
Yeah, hey, got to ask you, and I probably have already, but not on the radio, where'd you get that name?
I used to shoot mud hens when I was a kid. I was born and raised. My dad always took me mud hens, so they ended up calling me Coot.
Uh-huh.
So nowadays, they call me the old Coot.
The old Coot. Yeah, well, we're all getting in that direction, I guess. So you've been fishing both Green Bay and Winnebago for walleyes this summer. Let's start with Green Bay. What have you found up there?
Well, last week, Friday, we were up there, and we caught 5 walleyes. The biggest was 27 inches. And we also landed a 9-pound sheephead and over a 10-pound catfish. Blowing flutter spoons with slow death behind it.
Okay.
One of the lures I designed back in 2008, and it's been really a good lure for me on Winnebago and the Bay of Green Bay.
Okay. So good-sized walleyes, has this been consistent this summer?
It has been till last week. It's starting to slow down now, but there's still guys jigging some on Gano's Reef and along the west shore of Sturgeon Bay, like North-South Reef, Larson's Reef. They've been either jigging with hair jigs or jigging wraps, or now the term shiver minnows.
Okay. But you were trolling, right?
Yes, I was trolling.
Yeah. Is that still a decent bite out there, or is that tapering off?
It's starting to taper off a little bit, but more of the fish are starting to migrate more north now since the warmer air and warmer nights. So that water is still warm. It's still warming up in the lower part of the bay, so the fish will migrate north now.
Okay. And then come fall, they'll be heading back toward the river, right?
Yes. Yeah. In October, I love fishing the Fox River up in Green Bay. It's fun jigging.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now let's look at Winnebago. You live practically on the lake. You grew up fishing it. What's this fishing been like this summer?
It's been pretty good. Getting some nice big fish this year. I'm kind of missing the 15 to 17-inch fish out there. I don't know where they are. We must have had a bad spawn, or people keep them for eating and all that. That's fine. I did catch one walleye that was tagged. It was 25 inches. It was during a tournament, and the DNR told me that the fish was 11 years old. It traveled 62 miles in 54 days.
Wow.
So if you catch a tag fish, please send the tag number into the DNR, because they need as much data as they can to figure out these fish, the migration of them and the spawning and all that.
Yeah, that's interesting. How long was it? 20?
It was 25 inches long, and it traveled 62 miles in 54 days.
And was 11 years old at that size.
Yes.
Wow. Was that a male or female?
No, that was a female.
Okay, so you would think...
Thank goodness it was a catch and release tournament.
Yeah, okay. Well, you would think that a female would reach that size sooner than 11 years, but maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. But, saugers are even the worst. They take longer to grow.
Yes, I know. Have you been catching many of those?
I caught 5 already this year, and the biggest is 20 inches, and that fish is almost 20 years old.
Wow. Okay. And for people who don't know the difference, they're pretty easy to identify if you know what a walleye looks like, aren't they?
Yeah, I tell everybody the difference between a sauger and a walleye, I always say a sauger has a bulldog mentality. They flare their gills, they twist their body, they just do not want to be touched. And you put the fish on his belly, he'll sit there. If you take a walleye and put it on its belly, he'll kind of roll over and just lay there and flop. But the sauger does not want to be touched, He'll also flare and he'll turn his body.
I'll be darned. Yeah, and of course they have, most of them anyway, have black spots on their dorsal fin.
Yes. Yeah, they're brown and black kind of blotches.
Yep.
And some do have white tips on them, so that's how people confuse them with walleyes. But it's a darker brown and black.
Yeah, okay. Well, now you mentioned a lure that you designed a number of years ago, and you've got several new or relatively new products out that you've been marketing, that you designed yourself. The Rattlin Wasp is the one I'm the most familiar with. It's a small crankbait, and you've got it in several sizes and lots of different patterns. Tell us about that bait.
Yes, we have a number 4 and a number 5. They all have rattles in them. And I have 24 colors. They actually are in 35 stores being sold now.
Mm-hmm.
What I designed in them is I wanted the bill to travel down further, so that makes the tail end up higher, because when you're trolling rock piles, that lure will actually hit the bottom and pop up a little bit, so you don't get as many snags that way. And it's got a different little rattle. I mean, not rattle, but I mean a shaking to it versus a Selma or something like that.
Mm-hmm. So if it hits a rock and you just kind of give it a twitch, it pops back?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And I should say they all float, too. That's
right.
what makes them like that, right?
Yeah, okay. And you there's a video on your website, cootslures.com, where you explain the FireFly. Tell us what that is.
The FireFly is a planer board light that is an accessory, so you can actually physically put it on and take it off your board. It doesn't have to stay on. There's no tools required. You just push it down on the flag. The battery is inside the light, so what you do is you unscrew the top, you pull the battery out, you reverse the battery 180 degrees, push it back in, the light should come on, and you thread it back on. What's really nice is if you drop it in and it's on, it floats, so you can't lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And
cool.
You have green and orange for port and starboard.
Sure. Clever. And that's for trolling at night, obviously.
Yep, which is good, so other people can see your boards and you can also see your boards.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about the visibility to other anglers, because if a lot of guys are trolling with wide, with a wide spread on their boards, you want to avoid hitting each other's boards and getting all tangled.
Especially on Michigan.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And you've designed several other things that are on the market now. Your net magnet system. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, it's called the Magnetgo. It's an actual magnet release for your landing nets. It's a 4-pound pull. So what you do is you attach it with Velcro to the shaft of the landing net. Then the other half of the magnet goes to the bottom of the landing net. And when you bring the landing net up to the shaft of the net, the magnets click together. So this helps you when you're actually trolling, because what happens when you troll and you go after that fish, the net drops in the water and starts going backwards. So most of the times you're going to hook the hooks. You don't want to do that.
Right.
So I always tell everybody, leave a little basket dip in your net, so when you get the fish in there, it'll pop the net or pop the magnet and drop the fish further in the basket. What's really nice is it's great for salmon nets, because those guys have very deep nets, and that way you don't have to hang on to the net so long. The magnet holds it in place very well for you.
Yeah, very good. Okay. And what else have you got there that's on the market? Oh, I think you mentioned you got some new trolling rods, right?
Yep, I just came out with a new trolling rod. I have 8-foot and 8'6". They both telescope. The 8-foot collapses down to 6'10". The 8-foot collapses down to 7'2". What I did with this is I shortened up the butt of the rod so it doesn't stick so far into the boat by 3 inches. I had 2 metal bands on there for the reel seat because it makes it a lot stronger. I do not have any triggers on it because it makes it easier to pull out of the rod holders. Mm-hmm. Then on the foregrip, I went with a triangular foregrip. It actually conforms to your hand a lot better. The rod won't roll when you're trying to crank on the fish in that. Mm-hmm. There's also a hook saver on there, too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have anything else in the works or out already?
Not right now, but there might be something. Can't give it out just yet.
Yeah, one of my favorite things that you designed, and I don't know if you're marketing it, is that tower system to hold the rods out. That was just remarkable.
Yeah, I call it the Rod God. It actually holds 8 rods. It's great. Right now, I've got my boat set up. I can troll 12 rods on Lake Winnebago or Green Bay.
Yeah, and you can sit right on the tower so you can watch all the rods.
Yep. I've been having a lot of friends like, I want this. I said, I don't have the aluminum to make it anymore. It's the one and done.
one and done, but are you thinking about marketing that someday maybe?
No, there's a lot of other great guys that are very good as machinists and good with aluminum and all that. And, I just had the access of making it, so I just made it, and it was actually kind of a cool little thing. So
yeah, it certainly is. Well, listen, I'd like to get out with you again sometime, maybe this summer. I've been busy, and I know you've invited me already. Just haven't had an opportunity to do it, but we'll keep tabs on you, and I appreciate the report.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Dan.
You bet. Paul Coot Williams with the report on what's going on Winnebago and Green Bay. And you can learn more by going right to his website, cootslures.com. I'm Dan Small. You're listening to Outdoors Radio. Pappas Trading Post is southern Wisconsin's #1 Matthews and Mission archery retailer. Located just west of Arena on Highway 14, they have a full-service pro shop, a 40-yard indoor range, a large selection of archery accessories, and a full assortment of Matthews apparel. Their expert staff can tune your bow for top performance. Gear up for bow season at Pappas Trading Post. Look for the 2 giant arrows and stop at Pappas Trading Post on Highway 14 west of Arena or visit pappastradingpost.com. Enjoy the ultimate shooting experience at the Range of Richfield, your one-stop shop for all shooters. Just north of the Richfield Cabela's store on Helson Drive, the Range of Richfield offers 12 state-of-the-art 25-yard indoor shooting lanes for all pistol and common rifle loads, classes in home defense, basic handgun and concealed carry, a retail shop, trophy mount display, and more in a welcoming, family-friendly setting. Open daily except Monday to the public and members. Your ultimate shooting experience, therangewi.com.
Since our inception, Huntworth has worked relentlessly to incorporate innovative technologies and forward-thinking design into affordable camouflage apparel. Our gear, designed with the Disruption Camo pattern, utilizes computer-generated graphics featuring a high level of random and abstract visual noise to help you remain undetected in the environment. So whether you need the latest in hunting gear technology or clothing that just simply fits your lifestyle, Huntworth gear is what you're looking for. HuntworthGear.com. That's HuntworthGear.com.
Fisher King Winery is Madison's winery, makers of finely crafted Wisconsin wines. Visit their new facility off Highway 151 at exit 79 in Verona. Sample their award-winning wines, handcrafted on site from Wisconsin-grown grapes. Enjoy live music Friday evenings and often on Saturday. Their event space is available for private bookings and parties. Enjoy great wine at Fisher King Winery in Verona, fisherkingwinery.com.